Hello everyone, it's Rebecca here, and today I'm coming at you with a quite big book haul. Now, in the month of June alone, I have accumulated quite a lot of books. I think I'm bordering on like 30-ish. So I'm going to split them into two sets, and the first set is going to be all my used books, my used book haul, and then I'm going to do a new book haul in a separate video because my used books are getting up to 30 anyway, and I don't really want to keep you all waiting for like ever, because this is going to be like a really long video. So yeah, get yourselves comfy and let's get started. The first book I have to show you all is The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. This is only a recent release, and I got this, I think I got this one for £1.50 in a charity shop, and I'm nearly done with it. I've got 100 pages left of the actual story, and then in the back on the grey pages there are, what are they? Acknowledgements and extras, so there's like interviews with the author and things like that. This follows a girl named Melanie, and there's a situation with zombies called the Hungries, and I don't want to give too much away because you kind of need to go into it not knowing much about the book. I really enjoyed it so far, and I will have a review of this up when I finish it. The next book I have I bought quite early on in the month, and Ness will probably recognise the majority of these books, and that is The Dream Eaters, which is The Glass Books of the Dream Eaters by G.W. Delquist. I don't really know much about this book other than fantastic, somewhere between Dickens, Sherlock Holmes and Rider Haggard. I was in Seventh Heaven, which is written by Kate Moss, which is the author of Labyrinth. The next one I have is on recommendation from Ness herself, and that is The Otherboleyn Girl by Philippa Gregory. Now, I remember when I was looking at this, I actually said to her, do I not need to read them in order, because I know this is quite far down the pecking order, and she went, oh no, you can read them all as standalones. However, if I link her historical fiction chat down below, she actually states that you're probably better off reading them in order, and this is like quite late to the party. So yeah, she lied to me, but anyway, it means I've got a book to read. I've got an excuse to buy the rest in the series if I kind of like this one first. The next one I have here is Legend by Marie Lu, and this is the first book in the Legend trilogy. Now, I was surprised at how short this is actually, because everyone else's shelves make it look like so thick and chunky, but this is actually quite short. And this says on the back, based on a retelling of Les Miserables, or Les Miserables, Legend is the first in an epic trilogy. Now, if I had known it was based on Les Mis, I would have like snapped it up sooner, but I got this one for £1 in a charity shop, so I couldn't exactly say no. The next book I have is The Time Traveller's Wife by Audrey Niffenegger. Let's just call it Audrey. We all know about The Time Traveller's Wife, vaguely, about the film. I haven't actually seen the film. I've kind of tried to keep away from the idea of watching it because I knew it was based on a book. I don't know much about it. I'm going to go into it blind like I do with quite a lot of books because spoilers, basically. The next book I have is Daphne du Maurier's The House on the Strand. I picked this one up for £1 in a local, I picked this up for £2 in a local bookshop, and it kind of intrigued me because originally I saw the name and I thought, oh, you know, that's that one that wrote Rebecca, right? That's my name, right? So yeah, let's just go with it. I read the synopsis on the back, and it seemed really interesting, and it is again another short one really. It's about 330 pages, so I'm looking forward to getting into it because I've never read anything by her. The next one I have is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. This is about Connor, and he has the same dreams every night since the night of his mother being diagnosed with an illness. It sounds kind of creepy, it sounds kind of interesting, so I got it for that reason alone, and I wanted to know what the Patrick Ness kind of hype was all about, kind of thing. The next one I have to show you is Labyrinth by Kate Moss. I don't really know too much about this. I've seen a lot of people sort of speaking about it, but I think, is it quite an old book? Yeah, 2005 this one was published, and I've seen a lot of people, you know, I've seen it on people's shelves, and then recently I've seen a lot of copies of this in like charity shops and thrift shops. So yeah, don't really know much about it, but I thought maybe it's just like one of those things where everybody clears it out after a while, you know, like 50 Shades of Twilight, everybody clears it out and or doesn't want it seen in their shelves kind of thing because they feel like they're growing out of it. But it's the #1 bestseller, so, you know, and she also had that little quote snippet thing on one of the books I showed before. The next book I have is Mantilla by Jane Austen, I don't really know too much about this other than I remember a lot of people reading it at A level and at degree level when I never read it. So yeah, I feel like I've missed out on a bit of a party there. I'm looking forward to getting into it though, because I do love a good classic every now and again. The next book I have is Memoirs of a Geisha by Arthur Golden. Again, it was another recommendation from Ness, whose channel will be linked down below, as will the historical fiction chat, as she is in pretty much every single one of my videos because she always recommends really good books. The next book I have is Three, and this is by Sarah Lott, The Three rather. This is based around a day called Black Thursday. There are a number of events, and hang on, yeah, 4 passenger planes crash at almost exactly the same moment at 4 different points around the world, and there are only 4 survivors, 3 of which are children, and the 4th is a woman who leaves a message before she dies about this plane crash. So it sounds quite interesting, and it's a thriller. It sounds like a really good thriller. The next book I picked up yesterday, because today is Monday morning and I picked this one up Saturday, so 2 days ago, and that is The Rosie Effect by Graham Simpson. I don't really know too much about this. I do know that I've probably picked this one up at the wrong point. I probably should have picked up the Rosie Project first. Yeah, I probably should have read that first because it's a backstory to this. But maybe if I read this first and then I'll read the Rosie Project, it might act as a bit of a prequel, and that might be a little bit of a different reading experience for me. Okay, so the end is not very much in sight. But yes, we are about halfway through this charity shop haul. I am really sorry how long this is going to be, but I'm just going to keep going. The next book I picked up is The Diary of Anne Frank, which is edited by Otto Frank. Do I really need to say much about this other than I'm really pleased I picked this one up because I lost my copy? The next book I have to show you is Stephen King and Peter Straub's Black House. This is quite a chunk, however, being a mass market paperback size, I think I might be able to fly through it quite quickly if it is good. And from reading Cell by Stephen King, I'm assuming it's going to be pretty good. The next book I have is The Railway Man, and that is by Eric Lomax, and I did not realise that this was a war novel. If I had known it was a war novel sooner, I would have picked it up a hell of a lot sooner, and I would have been and seen the film. Because we all know I'm a sucker for a good historical war fiction book.
I think this is like a memoir slash fiction. During the Second World War, Eric Lomax was one of the thousands of prisoners of war forced to work on the notorious Burma Siam line known as the River of Death. Ooh. Yeah.
Looks like it could be another quick read for me as well. The next book I have is a bit of a chunk, and that is The Three Musketeers by Alexandre Dumas, or Dumas. I saw this on Sam's channel, which is Novels and Nonsense, and I'll leave her link down below as well. I saw that she had this really nice edition of it and she started reading it, and I downloaded it on my Kindle in the hope that I would start reading it soon, and then naturally I didn't. And then I found this one for £1 in a charity shop, and I mean, look at it. It's like perfect on the spine. There's like, it's clearly like pretty much never been read. It's literally just been like flicked through like that, and for £1 you can't go wrong, can you? It's a Collins Classic edition as well, so I also have this and I have it on Kindle for free. So for those of you who can't find it in a charity shop, it is available for free on iBooks and Kindle and things like that, with it being a classic. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into it and maybe working my way through it over the summer between work and things and other books, because it's a bit of a whopper at, like, you know, over 800 pages, but it's also got like a dictionary in the back of terms for this book. The next book I have is Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I'm butchering these names this morning. I picked this one up because it was like £1 and I recognised the name, and it's been shortlisted for the Man Booker Prize, so naturally I had to pick it up. I don't really know much about it yet again, going in blind, but hey ho, it's bound to be worth it. So yeah, it's nearing the end. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have about 6 books left. That's quite good really, isn't it? The next book I have to show you is Jodi Picoult's Second Glance, which is her new bestseller at the time, and that was released, when was it released? I feel like I'm joining the Jodi Picoult, yeah, 2003. I feel like I'm joining the Jodi Picoult party quite late. This one, the love of your life is dead. In that moment you lose every reason to live. What would you do? I'm quite fascinated by what the character does, because I don't know what I would do myself. Yeah, I don't know what I'd do myself, and I've got a funny feeling this might be a bit of a tearjerker. The next book I have is Cross Stitch by Diana Gabaldon, also known as Outlander by Diana Gabaldon, depending on where you are from. I picked this one up because it was 50p, rather than like paying way over the top for like a mass paperback new edition. I just went for the old one. It was 50p and it was in a charity shop near where I live. Everybody knows the story of Outlander, naturally, apart from me, because I live under a rock with things like this and Game of Thrones. But yeah, for 50p, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if I'll continue on with the series because apparently they're all this length and there's about 10 of them. And again, recommendations and fellow booktubers have suggested that it's either really good or really bad with sequels. So yeah, looking forward to finally joining this party as well. The next book I have comes as a bit of a surprise that I found it in a charity shop for £1, but that is Elizabeth is Missing by Emma Healy. Now, I only saw this in like Tesco and things like that a couple of months ago, where they do the bestsellers but like at like Tesco price, so it's like £4 a book. I didn't pick it up and I was a bit dubious about picking it up, but when I read the back, I really liked it. I just didn't want to warrant spending, you know, for upwards of £4 on a book that's only that thin. So I ended up, when I found it in a charity shop, I was like, mine, I'm keeping it, I'm not leaving it alone, it is mine now. The next book I have is Mark Haddon's The Red House. I don't really know much about this other than he is the author of The Curious Incident rather, and I really love that book, and yeah, I mentioned it in my book bucket list, which will be linked down below. Okay, so I'm so excited to show you the next one. This next one is Across the Blood Red Skies by Robert Radcliffe, and ever since I read about this and I'd seen it on other people's channels, I was like, I need this book. A lot like Elizabeth is Missing, I need this book. And war fiction, can't help it, but you know, had to have it. So yeah, this one is actually set in the First World War rather than the Second World War, which is a bit of a change for me. So yeah, mixing things up a little bit there. The average survival time of the First World War The average survival time of First World War reconnaissance pilot is 18 hours. After weeks in the thick of it, George Duckwell, reluctant novice hero of the Royal Flying Corps, is living on borrowed time, watching in horror as a succession of comrades are shot down, burned, maimed and killed, while somehow he survives. And I think this follows his story, basically. It looks like quite a short read, so I'll probably fly through this one too, but I'm really looking forward to getting to this one, because not only is the cover gorgeous, but it's war fiction. Did I mention that I like war fiction? Okay, so this last one I have to show you at the end of this haul of quite a lot of books is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Now, when Ness picked this one up in this edition, I was like, I'm so jealous, I want it. And then I found it myself for, I think it was £1 again in a charity shop, and with Ghost Letter Watchmen coming out, is it Ghost Letter Watchmen? I think so. I kind of really need to read this one first, because the hype about that is just going to explode when it releases. We were on about doing a buddy read for this one. If anybody else would like to buddy read it because they love it or they haven't read it before, please let me know down below in the comments, and I'm sure we could all sort something out.